All right, didn't take long. We're now seeing the real-world consequences of Biden's amnesty, open borders agenda. For example, the Biden administration now is reportedly moving ahead on plans to diminish ICE's enforcement capabilities. And get this, even in places where the border wall is near complete, it actually has big gaping holes in it. And Biden's DHS wants to leave the giant holes in the barrier. Why would you have a wall with holes in it? Senator Graham went down to the Arizona-Mexico border, and this is what he found. Take a look.
The Biden administration apparently has decided to stop plugging this hole here. What good comes from allowing this hole to continue to exist? This wall is here for a purpose. It keeps people from coming in our country legally, and you got a hole in the wall. And I'm going to make sure the Department of Homeland Security tells me why they're going to stop finishing this part of the wall. It makes no sense.
I don't know. Senator Graham joins us, South Carolina Senator Graham. You know, you might have a future as a correspondent for the Hannity show in that shot.
Let me tell you.
I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm trying to understand this. You have holes in the wall.
You can't.
That they were about to finish. You see the equipment is there to finish the wall. Why wouldn't you finish what you started? You already paid for the materials. They're laying there and not fill the hole. That sounds pretty, I don't know, where I grew up, that sounds pretty dumb in New York.
If Trump did it, they're not going to do it, even if it makes sense. So I went to the border, open-minded, and I came back really worried for our country. What you saw, there are 18 holes in this wall near Nogales, Arizona, but on the Mexican-U.S. border, that panels are going to be put up to allow water to run through, because water runs from Mexico into the United States, so they got ways for the water to get through these panels. Well, these were the last panels to go into the wall. It's like miles of really impressive fence and walls. The Biden administration is not going to put these panels up. They consider that border wall. So you got miles of walls with 18 holes in it, and the material to plug the hole is laying on the ground. The Border Patrol people are just dumbfounded as what to do. All the people remaining in Mexico waiting for their date in the United States for asylum claims are being brought back to the United States and released in the United States. These combination of policies by the Biden administration are going to lead to caravan after caravan. By June of this year, if the Biden administration continues to dismantle the wall and change the Trump policies about asylum, we're going to have 1 million people hit the border.
And they already promised amnesty, so that's also part of it, and catch and release. Yeah. And amazing, people don't go to their court dates. So Merrick Garland today, I mean, I find this pretty interesting. You asked a simple question. We have a smoking gun email, James Comey to James Clapper. You know what the email says. You even got Comey, McCabe, and Yates to all admit, knowing what they know now, they wouldn't have signed the FISA warrants. Comey signed 3 of them. We know on the day that he signed the second one, the first renewal, before he signed the second renewal of the third one, that he said he couldn't verify the dossier, which was the bulk of information, without which testimony was given to your committee, they wouldn't have gotten the FISA warrant. And Merrick Garland didn't have an opinion about lying to a FISA court, knowing that it says at the top of a FISA application verified, and it was unverifiable and now debunked?
You know, he read the Horowitz report, a review of it, a summary of it, and it said that it was bad and it should never happen again, that if somebody like Klein Smith altered documents on his watch, they'd pay a heavy price. I'm confident that Durham's going to be allowed to do his job. If Durham is stopped from continuing the investigation of Crossfire Hurricane, that will blow up in their face. That'd be like having a hole in the wall on steroids. The policies of the Biden administration on immigration, Sean, make 0 sense. They're going to restart the caravans. They've dismantled border security that was working. They've changed policies remaining in Mexico that kept people from taking advantage of our asylum laws. And all this is being changed because the left is demanding open borders. I predict this, that immigration will be a bigger issue than 2022 than it was in 2016.
So is this going to be one where Republicans stand together? If you can't answer this fundamental question,
Yes.
Republicans will stand as one? Is that the same Republican Party that kind of has some people I might describe as feckless, weak, ineffective, lacking courage in the spine? Some of them, just some.
Right. Well, if you can't stand up to this, then you're in trouble as a party. What they're doing at the border makes no sense. I've been involved in trying to fix immigration. They're dismantling the Trump border plan that worked. And here's what I would say. Trump's going to give a speech Sunday that's going to be very policy-centric. Every Republican should rally around it. I think it will help us with independence. And I've never felt better about President Trump's leading the party than I do right now.
Let's talk about the president. He has a big speech this weekend at CPAC. I know there might be a couple of Republicans that that aren't particularly fond of the president. I don't know. Maybe they want to go back to the good old days of the establishment only doing show votes to repeal and replace Obamacare, but not getting anything done. I don't think that's the future of the Republican Party. What would you expect the president in this speech to be talking about?
Number one, he will position himself as the alternative to Joe Biden. He, I think, will make a speech that will unify Republicans on policy. That I think he's been working the phones. I was with him all weekend. He wants us to win in 2022. And stay tuned. I think you're going to see over the next couple of months Donald Trump lead the Republican Party on policy and give us the energy we need to take back the House and the Senate. The Democrats are doing their part. If we could get behind President Trump and follow his lead, we will win in 2022. If we argue with ourselves, we're going to lose, and there's no reason to lose.
Losing would be a bad thing. I'm not sick of winning. So basically, you're describing the leader of the opposition party. Any insight as to whether the president has made up his mind about running in 2024?
Stay tuned.
Correspondents of this program have to tell everything they know. I'm just saying, if we want a future, you know.
When I get my first check, I'll tell you.
All right, I'll give you the check, and I'll be standing before one of these dumb committees in D.C.
Okay.
All right, Senator. Thank you.